Hello, listeners. This is Lee Price.
This is Will Ford from Football 365.
And you're listening smartly to At the Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast, although I would describe it as the Chelsea FC podcast.
Magical from Eden Hazard. Kai Havertz in the Champions League final. Ivanovic! In the middle, it's just behind him. But it's tapped in by Hakim Ziyech. Matic with the ball driver. Matic takes the net off. Hat-trick hero. Cole Palmer wins an epic, sensational game.
It's time for another episode of At the Bridge Pod, your number one Chelsea FC podcast. Coming up on this episode...
Oh boy, this is going to be one hell of a ride. Oh, welcome back everyone to another episode of At the Bridge Pod, and I'm joined in this virtual room. Phil, just one lion, but it's the one lion you wanted on this show. I've seen you, listener. I've seen some of the comments about this on the Discord. I've got Chris, and of course I have Tom. Tom always turns up. My cat Tom, whenever it's a podcast, he's there. Hopefully not pulling out the graphics card today. But Chris, I want to know what your moment of the weekend was. And I might have an idea, but what was it?
You know what? I had a really, really good weekend aside from two moments. So Saturday, my girls won 5-0 and my daughter scored 4.
Oh, bloody hell.
So that was excellent.
Wow.
Then I had a nice chilled sort of Saturday afternoon. Then Chelsea let me down.
Yeah, that happened.
But then Sunday, went to Stamford Bridge, watched Chelsea women. Again, with my daughter. Whole day together. It was really nice until I lost the train tickets on the way home.
Oh.
They must have fell out my pocket when I got my phone out on the tube. So I would like to say Chiltern Railways, not helpful at all.
No.
Be warned, everybody. If you buy train tickets through Trainline and you print those tickets off at the train station and you happen to lose said tickets, Trainline's response is buy more tickets.
Oh,
so
helpful.
It cost me an extra 60 quid to get home.
That's insane.
Otherwise, I'd still be in London.
Fucking hell.
So yeah, that wasn't ideal. But aside from those couple of things going wrong, really, really good weekend.
I mean, no, I'm Mr. Hindsight over here. I was going to say, I always have them on my phone when I order tickets for like the Trainline app because that's just easy. I've got my phone on me. But that doesn't really help you. But
no, I wish I had e-tickets now. The reason why I didn't, because I know people are going to be like, well, you're stupid not to have them on your phone. The reason why I didn't is I have to have my phone on to drive to the train station. And then using my phone on the train. And then I need my phone for on the way back. So I can't have my phone die.
Yeah, that is a good point. That is a good point. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
you know what? I'm with you there.
Next time I'm having them on my phone. I'd rather have to buy a power bank or something from a shop than spend more money trying to get home.
I'd say, yeah, I agree. I agree. My moment, Neymar, probably, it's not official. I thought it was official when I wrote this. Return to Santos. Apparently, it's because Santos can't sign Jamie Windass. Wow, I love that. What? Just insane. That's pure nostalgia for me. And of course, staying in Brazil, some seriously insane goals were scored over the weekend in that league. Jose Martinez against Sao Paulo for Corinthians, and then Lucas Moura in the exact same game scored an absolute lovely goal. It was one of those like messy sort of dribbles. It was beautiful. And in the Super Copa final between Barcelona Femení and Real Madrid, Patri's goal. Oh, listeners, if you haven't seen any of those goals, just go on the Reddit page, on Soccer Reddit. You'll see them. They're so good. They're so bloody good. My favourite would be Martinez because it's just, I love it hits the crossbar and goes in. One of those long.
They always look better.
It was just so nice. It was like,
I don't think there's a better looking goal than crossbar in it.
It just makes everything look better. It just always does. Even the noise as well when you hear it.
Yeah.
Lovely. Absolutely stunning. Just check them out, listener. Check them out. Right. We're going to head to the news. And literally something broke just as I was hitting record. So very Villa heavy. That wasn't what I expected. Literally a few minutes ago, Aston Villa are keen on signing João Felix. Don't know why. And then earlier on in the day, the Axel Disasi news from Fabrizio Romano. He wants to join Aston Villa. He's agreed personal terms with them. He doesn't want to go anywhere else. And it's likely a straight loan for a fee, obviously. No option to buy. Another pointless move then. Oh,
Yeah,
Chris.
that does seem pointless, don't it?
It sounds like to me another pointless move because it just kicks the can further down the road. Because come May, we've got Disasi, we've definitely got Sterling coming back. And we have to be honest, can you see any big clubs swooping in for either of them right now?
No. I think the only thing I would say about the Disasi one, loans in January, I don't necessarily mind having without the option or obligation to buy, because what we hope for is he goes to Villa, does really well, then either they want to sign him or other clubs then become interested and his price goes up.
Yes.
Can work the other way. He could go to Villa and be utter shite.
He could tank.
And
He could tank his
yeah,
draft stock.
and then you can't get rid of him for love nor money. But it would be. Do you know what? I wouldn't be shocked if he went there and did really well.
New environment. I don't know why I said draft stock. Tank his draft stock.
New environment. Really good manager.
Yeah, that's
good tactical setup.
I mean, when we do these loans, it's like the Sterling one. It just feels like we're putting out a kitchen fire with a glass of water and just going, that's it, job done. Because we've got the same problem come May. Yeah. And I still don't see anybody signing. I don't see anyone signing Sterling because all that PR when he's back, he's in Arsenal. He's going to be, he's going to show everybody what he's really about. If he's shown everyone what he's really about, that ain't a great. I don't like what I'm being shown. I mean, I was just looking at some loan deals in the Premier League that have happened. So you had Martin Odegaard to Arsenal before it turned to a permanent. That was all right. Kim Källström, no. Denis Suarez. Chelsea loan moves. Alex Pato is one of the worst, apparently. Oh, fuck off. I like Alex Pato. Sorry, ESPN. I disagree. Ozan Kabak to Liverpool. Yeah, I remember that one. That weren't very good.
Yeah, that was awful.
Nery Castillo to Man City. Oh, yeah, that was awful. That was a long time ago. It was like 2008. Veg Outhorse.
Oh my God, yeah.
Oh no, this list's horrible. Oh dear. Moving swiftly on. John Obi Mikel. He could do a job in our midfield, maybe. He dropped some comments on his recent podcast that I feel we have to discuss. First up, have you seen them, by the way?
No, I haven't seen them, but I've heard Mikel talk before.
He might have a point with these. So first up, his comments on Nicholas Jackson and Robert Sanchez. And I must say that I'm very proud of what Mikel said, but hear him out. Nicholas Jackson is not that striker that will win us the league. Top four maybe, but not to put us where we belong. We need another top striker. Sanchez and Jackson aren't Chelsea material. The keeper costs points. Keepers are meant to win you points, and Jackson has 7 games, 0 goals. He can tell me to shut up because I won't stop. Oh, sorry. I won't stop until he fix up. Interesting. Okay. Fix up. Interesting. But my favourite part was he has clearly listened to our episode where I keep going about the Dalton line of strikers. Yeah, Jackson, top 4. Yeah. Win us the league. No. I can't disagree.
No. But if we had a team that could win the league and we wasn't winning the league because of Jackson, I think that would be a valid point. However, maybe Jackson isn't good enough to win us the league, but neither are our wingers. Yep. 2 out of 3 of our centre midfielders, both our centre backs and our goalkeeper. We're miles away from winning the league. Miles away. So you could take Jackson out and you could put Gyökeres in, you could put Osimhen in, and you could say, right, they're going to come in and they are going to score 20 Premier League goals next season. We still don't get anywhere near the league.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I can see it.
So that's the problem. Like, I can understand Mourinho's first year of his second spell when we had Torres and Demba Ba and they were sort of in and out. And Mourinho said, give me a striker, we win the league. And he was right because the
Yeah.
rest of the team was ready to win the league.
Yes.
We took out Torres and Demba Ba. We put in Diego Costa and we won the league. We're not at that level now. And that's the problem. So people can keep harping on about Jackson and thinking that selling Jackson or replacing Jackson with a top striker is going to magically solve everything. It's not.
It wouldn't solve everything. It would certainly help one part of the squad.
Yeah.
That's for sure. I mean, I
But
can't.
then
Yeah.
I always think with things like this, is there a trade-off here though? So I think Jackson does a lot of work for the other attacking players.
I agree.
So let's say he gets, he hasn't got bad numbers for assists, to be fair. He gets 7 to 10 assists a season.
Mm.
And he scores, say, 12 goals. That's 22 goal involvements. If I bring in a striker who scores 20 goals but doesn't get an assist or only gets 2, I've got the same result. I've still only got 22 goals. They've just come from one player rather than spread amongst different players. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I see where you're coming from.
Unless you're going to replace Jackson with someone who's going to hit 30 goals or 20 goals and still get 7 assists, very good in the build-up, Giroud style. But unless you're going to get Diego Costa's finishing with Giroud's build-up play, it's not going to solve everything.
Yeah. Well, I won't comment on Sanchez because I might.
We all agree Sanchez is
shit.
Sanchez isn't even good enough for the Dog and Pheasant.
No, he's not playing in that team. Not having it. We'll drop out the pub league. Can't afford that right now. The points are going up in price.
They'd rather have 18-stone Barry, who's had 12 pints of Stella the night before, turn up with hangover.
Yeah, we can't afford that in our little Sunday league there. We can't do it. What I did find a bit more interesting from that podcast of his was his Roman Abramovich comment. I don't know. You can only go based on what Mikel said. And he said, I've spoken to some people close to Roman. He's not happy. He's still really angry what happened that he had to sell. He's not happy at all that he lost his, and then in quotes, baby. And you know what? We all look. I've said I did a quick little paragraph on this, so I wouldn't forget what I was going to say. And look, we all dream of having another owner like Roman Abramovich. He ran the football club to win trophies, not to balance the books. He was truly, for me, one of a kind owner. Truly one of a kind. Was he perfect? Absolutely not. There were plenty of bad decisions were made, sacking Ancelotti for finishing second being one.
Yeah.
But the intent, we will all agree on here. And that's one thing I think as listener, Chris, I think we all can agree. His intent was clear. Win at all costs.
Yes.
That's simple.
And that is the difference.
100%.
I think, yes, he made some horrendous mistakes. Let's be fair. Some of the signings was terrible. The sacking of managers, like you said, Ancelotti wins the double, scoring over 100 goals in the Premier League, and then the year after has a pretty poor season, still finishes second and gets sacked. Was a horrendous decision. He was ruthless that way.
Yeah.
But you knew for a fact every single decision he made was with the club's best interest at heart. That's what these owners are missing. I don't think, even if it was true, and we don't know behind closed doors whether the decisions they're making are for the best interest of the club, in their mind, the fans don't feel it because it's not translating to what we're seeing.
Yeah.
They've essentially took a winning machine and turned us into Brighton.
Yeah, it's one of them where it's like I think of Snake in Simpsons needs premium, dude, premium, and we've just gone for basic unleaded, and it doesn't work in our superpower. It doesn't. Look, I mean, I did have hopes that Todd Bowley might run Chelsea in a similar vein to how he handles the LA Dodgers, because obviously I'm not big on baseball. It's not my forte, but the LA Dodgers are success driven. There's big investments. There's a clear vision. The problem, in my opinion, is Badad Igbali, because he kind of runs the club a bit like it's a spreadsheet. Every move to me sort of feels like it's a financial formula instead of a football strategy. You could say, I know someone's screaming 1.5 billion invested. I agree. We have invested a lot of money. However, we have invested in youth to then flip them at a profit. So theoretically, it does feel like you've bought 1.5 billion in assets to flip them for maybe 2 billion. That
Yeah.
look at Cassaday. I mean, it's not a profit, but it'll be, oh look, we sold him. So what was the point of him? It's
Yeah.
that's the problem. When you've got two head chefs, because we've got Bowley and Egbali in charge. When you've got two head chefs in the kitchen, you've got one cooking a gourmet meal and the other's trying to calculate the cost per carrot in the meal.
Yeah.
You end up with chaos. It doesn't work. You have to have one man in charge or one woman in charge, one figurehead in charge. You can't have two big figureheads. It won't work. Doesn't work.
And you know what's really funny? I think if we just had Todd Bowley in charge, I think we'd have been in a better place. Because
I agree.
when he was running it sort of day to day at the start, and yes, I know there was a lot of misses in that first sort of transfer window, especially, the Sterling, the Koulibaly transfer window. There was a lot of misses in there. But again, a bit like Abramovich, the intention was right. Signing Sterling from Man City at the time, without any, knowledge of how it was going to go, seemed like a good deal. £40 million for someone Premier League proven with his goal record, coming from a team that's won multiple leagues, experienced, leader, knows how to win things. Koulibaly coming from Italy, like at the time, probably the highest rated centre back in Serie A, again, knows how to win things, leader, experienced. The intention was right. It didn't quite pan out, but the intention was
That's
there.
the thing. Yeah.
This new way of doing things, like you said, it's exactly what mid-table clubs do. They look for who can we sign for cheap, develop and sell for 20, 30, 40, 50 million pound more in a year's time. But that's not how a big club operates.
No, you're right, 100%. And look, when you look at, obviously, I'm not going to pretend I know baseball. I really don't. That's not my sport. My sport's NFL. But I look at the Dodgers, and what did they do? Well, they won the World Series, which is their big prize. They won it in 2024. They won it in 2020. Obviously, that's two. They haven't won it since the 80s. But obviously, Bowley's team came in 2015-ish, I think it was, just after, and they've transformed them. And again, I know he's one of the best players in the game, Otani. They just gave him the contract. They went, "There's your mega book contract because you're world class. We want you on this team." I can't see that happening. Like, obviously, it's so hard to define world class, as we found out on Friday. But you'd think of a world class player now. It doesn't matter what position. Would we go and buy them? I would say no, 100% no.
Well, no, because most world-class players are over 25.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Right. We'll move to Kingsmeadow Corner because Chelsea took on Arsenal in the WSL, and I'm not even going to hit the button. There's nothing. Chelsea won 1-0. But Chris, you were at the game. What happened?
We won.
We won.
And with that, pretty much sealed the title, I would say.
Brave words.
Do you know what, though? It was a really poor quality game.
Yes, it was. I'm sorry, but it was.
We started really well. First 15 minutes, we came out so quick, created chances, high press. And then, I don't know whether Bumper Store had been watching Maresca. She thought 15 minutes in, we'll just sit off. So we'll sit off now. We'll just let them have a bit of possession. It's only fair. Yeah, and then after 15 minutes became a very strange game. I think it was going to be a difficult game because of how the table was at kickoff. It was one of those games that Arsenal couldn't afford to lose.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't have to win.
Yes.
So both teams would have been relatively happy with the draw. Arsenal would have thought that still keeps them relatively in the hunt for the title. And we'd have thought we maintain our gap over the closest rivals. So, it's still very much in our hands. But it was weird. And I also thought the lineup was a little bit weird. Leaving out Brighton especially, I thought was a bit strange. Like, Sandy Baltimore had some nice moments in the game, but did not have a good game at all. There was a few players though off it. I thought Lucy Bonds was really good. I thought she had an excellent game at right back.
Always does.
Rest of the defense was okay. Um, I've seen a lot of people afterwards. It's so different when you're there watching a game live and then you come out and you see the reaction because sometimes it doesn't quite translate to what you've seen. I think sometimes when you're watching it live and watching it on the TV, it can seem a bit different. Because I've seen a lot of people praising Millie Bright's performance. I thought she was okay. I thought she defended well, but on the ball, she was terrible. The amount of times she kicked the ball out of play. I know she's on her week of football. I thought, come on, Millie, you're better than that. Yeah, Bjorn next to her struggled. Did have a difficult game up against Russo. But did make some really good tackles and interceptions in the last sort of 10 minutes. Cuthbert off her game. It was funny because we was watching the teams warm up and they was doing the shooting. And Cuthbert missed the target on every single shot that she had. And there was one where the ball came in from the right-hand side and she's gone to score with her left foot and she's put it wide and she screams at the top of her voice, "Fuck!" And I thought that's fucking brilliant. Yeah, but you know what? Massive game and the team found a way to win.
Yeah.
I thought the subs made a difference. And, you know, the difference between Bomber Storm and Maresca is she knows how to make a sub.
Correct. Yes.
Lauren James obviously won the penalty. Did think she got a little bit lucky with that. I think she should have just rolled it back for Beaver Jones, who was completely unmarked anyway. Took too many touches and luckily won the penalty, so we still got the chance. Hamano, I thought, made the biggest difference. Honestly, seeing her live, wow. The areas of the pitch she takes up, the touches, her awareness, she is going to be special.
I mean, hopefully. I mean, that'd be incredible if it's true, if it happens.
If you want some little insight things so that you wouldn't get from on the TV, Arsenal women's fans walking down to Stamford Bridge from the tube station, singing "Champions of Europe." You'll never sing that. And I thought, if there's one club who can't sing about Europe, it's Arsenal.
It's an interesting choice of phrase, that, especially considering
what a stupid song for Arsenal to sing
for both sides, both the men's and the women's team. I mean, come on.
And then just two things from the game that really, really pissed me off. Fans getting there 15 minutes after kickoff really wound me up.
For fuck's sake.
You know, when you go to the cinema and people walk in after the film started?
Oh, no, you can't have that. It's not.
I hate that because we've had half an hour of adverts. So how are you this late for a film?
You can miss some of the adverts. I can get that, but not the bloody
film. But once the film started, honestly, 15 minutes into the game, fans were still getting there. And I mean like groups of fans as well. And it was like, then everyone's got to stand up and you got to shuffle past each other. Yeah. So that really annoyed me. And I've noticed, and I think this is specific to women's football. Because I have noticed it at almost every women's game that I've been to now. Fans who go there and then they just chat like they're at a coffee shop.
Oh.
There were some fans sat behind us who honestly must have had about a 20-minute discussion about Bolivia while the game's going on.
Wow, okay.
And then one of them at one point, halfway through this discussion, went, "Oh, what's happened there?" And when we had a free kick, and the guy she was with turned around and went, "Oh, I don't know, I wasn't looking." And I thought, why have you paid 15 quid to come have a chat?
Just go to Costa or Starbucks or other coffee shops are available. That's just insulting.
So weird. It's like, oh, we'll go out and have a chat, but we might as well go to a game while we're there. We'll watch a bit of it if anything happens. Yeah, I thought that was really bizarre. But overall, you know, nice to go and see another win.
Yes.
And I think that's title wrapped up now.
Champions find a way to win. That's the thing. I mean, I've got 2 points, but before I forget, you saying about seeing a player in person, this is going back like 12 odd years to a game I saw when it was the game Lampard broke the goal score record against Villa. I watched David Luiz in that second half, and he got barely any notice, any comment on Match of the Day 2 for that game. But when I watched him, he was like an engine. He was everywhere, and not a single person picked that up in the Match of the Day studio or on the highlights. And I thought, you know what? David Luiz cares. He's got such passion, and he just runs off passion. He really does. From the game, though, many questioned why Katie Maccabee got a second yellow. Apparently, and this is what I found, for, quote, shouting fuck off to the ref for the first yellow. Yeah, that'll probably get you sent off, that will.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That'll do it. But one thing, I mean, obviously it weren't the best game, but, you know, we won. I was also impressed by Van Domselaar in the Arsenal goal late on. Her reflex save stopped Nushka making it 2. I've seen that back, and I was like, that was a really good save, that was. It's like,
it was.
That was pretty damn good. So yeah, we roll on to, well, they've been given 2 days off, Sonia announced. That was nice of her to do. I don't know who we play next. Man United are second in the table, which is quite a surprise, I must say. Who'd have thought
having a good season, to be fair.
Yeah, they're doing really well considering they pretty much got asset stripped from.
And I thought they was really going to struggle. You know, losing Mary Earps and Katie Zellum and others that they lost in the summer, and you think, oh, you're in trouble. But no, fair play to them. They're having a really, really good year.
Oh, there we go. We're playing Villa. Funnily enough, Villa 2:30 on Sunday. So
I am going to that as well.
Oh, I'm jealous. Bloody hell, Chris. That's incredible. Oh. Right, here we're going to talk something happy now. Oh, listen, you've skipped to this. Oh, my word. Why have you done that? Why have you done that? So, it's time to head to winners and losers. Because we headed out on the road to the Etihad.
Winners.
I know. To take on Manchester City. The Blues got the party started early at the Etihad, pouncing on an absolutely diabolical error from Kujanov, on his debut no less. That was a true welcome to the Premier League moment. But like a kid dropping their ice cream cone seconds after getting it, Chelsea failed to capitalise. Cole Palmer, in the most unmagical of moments, botched an easy layoff to Jackson to make it 2-0, and that was pretty much it. The game just turned into a sad rerun that we've seen far too many times. We bossed the opening 15 minutes like we owned the place, but then someone pulled the plug on our mojo. Crumbled. We all crumbled. City found their rhythm, overran our midfield, and then Robert Sanchez decided to add his name to the ever-growing list of Chelsea goalkeeping horror shows, gifting City yet another goal with an error that will live rent-free in all our nightmares. Maresca did try to shake things up by unleashing Christopher Nkunku, aka the soon-to-be sold man. Spoiler alert, his contribution was nothing. Zero. Nada. The man looked like he'd already packed his bags and was browsing cheap flights out of London. The fans, understandably, are fed up now. This is a club teetering on the edge, and unless some serious change happens, this season might officially nosedive into, remember that time we were this bad territory? Yes, Manchester City 3, Chelsea 1, and we do kick off with the winners, we have to. Who have you got and how many have you got? I've got 1 and 3, and I mean that. I have 3, but they're long.
I've got 2.
Wow.
And 5.
You know, yeah.
Now, I know Berth's listening to this going, oh, it's got to be 3 and 3. But considering Berth and Ollie aren't here.
They're not here, so we need to add it out.
I thought we could pad it out a little and have some more.
Are we flat track bullying to get our scores? Look, I'm going to just be honest. Number 1, my only winner, Frank Lampard. Only one winner from me this weekend. It has to be Super Frank because Coventry City registered their 3rd win in a row under him, beating Watford 2-1. And that is because that's after they beat Blackburn Rovers and Bristol City previously. And all 3 teams were in the race for promotion. And yet Coventry have 9 points from 3 very, very difficult fixtures. And Coventry was 16th 3 games ago. They've now shot up the table. It's a great start for him. And you know what? I hope it continues because the Everton job was an absolute, well, it was a shit show. And that was probably a mixture of it, the club and the situation, everything else. So, you know, all the best to him because, you know, he's a legend and we want to see him do well. We do. So keep it up, Super Frank. Please, let's see if you're in the Premier League next season because the Championship's wild. You never know. Chris, winners.
My first winner is you, Mikey.
Oh no! What have I done?
because you called that new Man City centre half was going to have a fucking nightmare,
I said it.
and he did.
He did.
So you was correct there. So that makes you a winner for me.
Yeah, because he hasn't played. I'm not being harsh to the lad, but he hadn't played since December. Like he hadn't played for a whole month. No football for a whole month. And he's a very young lad. You know, he's only 20. And you got to remember as well, he played for Lens. Yeah, Lens, who are mid-table in France.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I wasn't. And the fact as soon as I saw him in the starting 11, Mamouche, he was good. I'll give credit there.
Yeah,
I can't win two things here. But when I saw both start, and especially a defender, I thought that's a high risk. That is a real. And the poor lad looked like he aged 10 years in that game. And it was it was just one of them. And he probably will bounce back and he'll probably have a good career. But you never know. And that sort of thing can break you. I just thought that was a real stupid risk from Pep. I really did. I didn't see the reasoning. But right, second winner.
I've got Enzo Maresca and the Chelsea board.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I've got Enzo Maresca for managing to land this job in the first place. And I've got him and the board combined for doing such a good job at lowering so many fans' expectations that we are now having a large portion of our fan base accept that we are slowly turning into Tottenham.
Oh no, we can't have that. No.
The amount of fans after this game, by the way, I have seen say, well, we shouldn't be anywhere near Man City. They won the league last year. You know, it's not a bad result going to the Etihad. I thought we played well today. Fuck off.
Well, you can't say Man City this year. No.
No. Seriously, everyone's beating Man City this year.
Yeah, it's not like if this was the Centurions, I'd allow it. If it was the Champions League treble season, you know what? Yeah, I'll allow it.
Yeah.
This isn't the Man City behemoth we know. This is like they're fighting for the top four for a reason. And it's not because they're amazing. It's because they fell off a cliff.
Yeah, they blew a 3-0 lead at home to Feyenoord.
They blew a 2-0 lead to PSG.
Exactly. If PSG can beat them, anyone can.
You know, yeah. I mean that's a very fair point. That is the winners list, and we got it. There's been everyone's had an opinion on losers, and so you know what, we're going to have him on the same list. But I've got Robert Sanchez. But
I haven't got Robert Sanchez because I'm not talking about him anymore. He's we know he's shit. He's always going to be shit. Even if he plays well, he's still shit.
You know what? I've got a clip lined up for this one. It's a bit of compilation from previous episodes this season. So I'm just going to roll that VT. Not for the first time, and certainly not for the last time. So not for the first time, and certainly not for the last time, I'm sure. Right, not for the first time, and I've said it before, and not for the last time. Can't believe I'm saying it again. Not for the first time, and certainly not for the last time, guys. Yeah, that was a compilation of me saying not for the first time, but I say this time, hopefully for the last time, I've got Robert Sanchez on my losers list. That is literally how I led every day. Oh my word, as soon as it happened, I just thought I've got to go through the episodes and pull it. I have to, because I've got some stats here. There's enough been said about him. No player has committed more errors leading to an opposition goal than Robert Sanchez, 5 in the Premier League this season. And his mistakes this season that I have personally compiled here, he played a pointless blind long ball up the field that led to the winning goal for Fulham. He played a completely needless risky pass to Palmer in the central area when we were 1-0 up against Palace. Less than 10 minutes to go and Palace equalised. This time, this one didn't result in a goal, but somebody had pointed out on Twitter, and I thought, yeah, good point. Sanchez did the same thing as against Palace in the first half against Bournemouth, and they hit the post. And of course, he dropped the ball instead of punching it against Wolves, and they equalised. I mean, for me, I've got one sentence. For me, Robert Sanchez will cost us top 5, and we will not win a trophy with him as our number 1 goalkeeper. That is not an opinion. That is a fact. End of. There is nothing more I can say.
Yep, correct.
Yeah. So,
and in this game, by the way, I don't know what he's doing for the Haaland goal. I do want to say, a lot of people have said off the initial pass, why is he that high? I understand why he's that high because our line was so ridiculously high.
Oh, stupid.
That he had to be there to sweep. Fine, not a problem. But as soon as Haaland is in control of that situation, get back in your goal. Your job is to protect the goal. Your job is not to come and play left back.
No.
So I don't know why he just stopped moving. It was absolutely bizarre decision. But he got away with one in the first half when someone had I can't remember who it was now, but they had an absolute dreadful shot from the edge of the box and he parried it straight out and that Marmoush tapped it in, but he was offside.
Oh, yeah.
But again, it was like, what are you doing? How have you parried that back out? Honestly, like I said, this is it now. This is the last time I am talking about him. From now on, just assume that he's shit.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. And one thing I will add, I said in our group chat at one point, why is Sanchez so far off his line when we were attacking at one point? And we were only like, I would only say we were just in the opposition half. And I mean, I don't know why he does it. It was just that's a risk in itself because City, they're slow in midfield, though we made them look like prime Xavi, Busquets and Iniesta. So, that was irrelevant. But we know the power that as soon as Haaland had got that ball and I saw Sanchez where he was, I thought goal because Haaland is a top quality goal scorer. He's going to chip that ball perfectly. No effort in. It's madness. Absolute madness. Chris, who's a loser for you?
So I've got Cole Palmer.
He's on mine.
I can't believe how many times Cole Palmer's been on my losers list this year. I think last season, I had him on there once, and I'm pretty sure it was a game against Burnley.
Oh.
But that was because I think he scored in the game, but I don't think he did enough in the game.
Okay.
The amount of times he's been on my losers list this year, down to actual bad performances, is scary. This game did absolutely nothing. Like, honestly, I can't remember a single positive action he had in the entire game. Even his touch was off, his passing was off. So the pass he fucked up for Jackson, the Jackson chance.
I was wrong. I apologise. I said that was Jackson's fault in the group. Seeing it back and having a calmer mind, that was not his fault. Sorry.
If Raheem Sterling had played that pass, he would have been absolutely crucified online. That's how bad that pass was for a player who should not be messing that pass up. But this experiment now with Palmer as a number 10 is not working. Give him some space to operate. We are seeing now steadily, the more Cole Palmer works under Enzo Maresca, the worse he is getting, which is a real concern when you've got a player that good.
Yes.
If your manager is making your best player worse, that is a real problem. He solidified himself on my losers list, though, after the game.
Yeah, I'm going to touch on that as well.
The absolute loving with his former teammates and then walking off the pitch arm in arm with Guardiola laughing. We've just lost 3-1, mate. And this isn't losing 3-1 to Man City, who are top of the league and we're sixth, so we're not rivals. This was a massive game. If we'd beat them yesterday, we could have put them out of the race for the top 4.
Yeah. I fully agree.
But no, we lost. And then Cole Palmer decides now's probably a good time to have a little bit of a laugh and a little chat with Pep. I'll go and catch up with some of the lads who I know from Man City. Am I going to go clap the away fans? Nah, I've got a conversation to have with Pep instead. Honestly, I hate that from any player. But in that specific situation after the game, it's either arrogance or stupidity on his part.
I mean, I look, he's on my losers list because I can't let him off the hook anymore. Because he did he pulled a full David Copperfield act against City. He straight up disappeared. He overhit you've just said he overhit an easy pass to Jackson for us to go 2-0 up. And other than that, he did nothing. And then, of course, you said, I mean, this was what I wrote. I put to top it off. You see him after the match joking, laughing with Guardiola, like it's a reunion barbecue.
Yeah.
Look, I'm going to be, before you go, oh, you're being old school. Hear me out. You can do that behind the scenes, maybe in the tunnel or in the dressing room. We won't see
That's
it.
what I said.
It doesn't
That's
matter.
exactly what I said.
If I get it, people know each other in the game. People are friends. That's fine. We don't see it, whatever. But on the pitch, after a performance like that, Palmer is a special, special talent. No one is denying that, and I'm not going to deny it. No, he's incredible. But where was that talent in the game? And in recent games, it's been nowhere. And the fact is, you said as well, he didn't even acknowledge the away fans who sat through 90 minutes of him ghosting the game. It's just, for me, overall, I felt that was a bad look because, look, he's over there. He's sharing jokes with the same man who sold him, effectively.
Yeah, which is weird.
I just felt, where are the standards? Because if that was me, I'd be fuming. I'd be fuming at my team, at myself. I'd just be fuming because I'd be there going, I've let everybody down. I've not performed. My team certainly haven't performed. I can't be having a laugh after that. No. But Cole's just out there smiling like it's fine. And to me, that was like there was no fire, there was no edge, there was no standards. We do it in the tunnel, no problem. I'm not going to be a grumpy old man. Do it in the tunnel is fine, but it just doesn't look right after that performance. It didn't look right for me.
No,
It didn't. On that, I suppose you can then run with all your losers because and not quick firing, let's keep the show long. But I've got Enzo, Maresca and standards packaged together because
that's fair.
I'll read you this quote from our manager post game. In my
don't get me started. Jesus, honestly. Just before you do this, I'd just like to remind people that when we had Graham Potter in charge, we was doing absolutely horrendous. I'm pretty sure that I said on the pod numerous times that some managers can somehow come out after a game and make a performance even worse. Enzo Maresca has that trait. Every time he comes out after a game, he somehow manages to make it worse. Just stop talking. Stop talking.
Yeah.
Send someone else because he's got to stop talking.
Right. The quote, in my opinion, I think we are a better team than 2 months ago. These type of games will make us better. Now, look, hold on a minute. Let's hold up a minute. 2 months ago, we were sitting third. We were neck and neck with Arsenal, separated by nothing but the winner from that game, the alphabet. Today, we're in sixth. We're tied on points with Bournemouth. And you're telling me we're better now. You've got to stop that because that's not just wrong. That's not just wrong. That's insulting. You're lying to the fans. I saw many people, son of Chelsea was like gaslighting. You're not wrong. Look, individual errors cost us points. And during the game, the individual errors cost us points. And what tactical adjustments did the manager make? Zero. Guardiola was running wild on that side. Absolutely. He had all the freedom and nothing changed. And I said it, we were getting bullied in midfield by Silva, Kovacic and Gundogan. This was a trio that PSG carved up midweek like a Christmas turkey. And us, I said it earlier, we made them look like peak Busquets, Xavi and Iniesta. I mean, the sound drop's appropriate.
Congratulations for being shit. Well done for being shit and well done for being shit.
Because they were. But look, instead of addressing it, we get this sort of nonsense about improvement. It's just waffle. It's like, what do you do? Like you said, he made it worse. Like, what was that? A man that I love to quote a lot, Mike Tomlin of the Pittsburgh Steelers, he said it best when he said the standard is the standard. At Chelsea, that used to mean winning. That used to mean performing. That used to mean delivering every single week. Now it just feels like the standard is go out there, have a kick about. It's fine if you're rubbish. And when you lower that bar, guess what? That becomes a new standard. Simple as that. And this is where my rant pretty much comes to a conclusion. It's nearly February. And what do we have? We have no top-class goalkeeper. We have no elite goal scorer. We have no front of shirt sponsor and no clue. I don't want to start on the ownership because they've gambled everything on Champions League football, which apparently, hilariously, this wasn't the aim for this year. That was next year's aim. Oh, well, that's interesting because we've turned down shirt sponsor offers out of greed then, because that's going to bite us in the PSR arse next season. And it should hurt because this is 100% mess on them. How the hell we have not got a shirt sponsor now? And we were told it's because of the Champions League for next season. Oh, okay, I could see the argument because, we'll get more money for being in Champions League next season. But then Maresca says, oh, that's not the target this year. That's next year's target. That's just bollocks. Someone's telling a lie because what's going on? No, something's not happening here.
What I don't understand about that is last year we finished 6th. So and this year, 5th, I believe, is enough for Champions League.
That's correct. Almost guaranteed.
Yeah, almost guaranteed that the top 5 are going to... And we finished 6th last year. So if 5th wasn't the target this year, what was the target then? Just finish exactly the same place we did? That makes no sense, does it? You finished 6th last year, well done. This year, we don't have to qualify for Champions League. Well, that'd only be 5th. Yeah, we're not going to do that. 6th we want. We want to finish 6th again, ideally. Again, it's lowering that expectation and lowering the bar. So if we was to finish 5th, they can say we've overachieved. No, we haven't. We haven't overachieved because when teams like Bournemouth and Nottingham Forest are going for Champions League, you're not overachieving. You are doing the bare minimum that you should be doing at a club like Chelsea. And I know people are like, well, we've got a young team and we've got this and we've got a new manager, blah, blah, blah. Well, Nottingham Forest started buying a shit ton of players around about the same time we did.
Yeah.
And they are now further along in their project than we are. So what's that tell you? We're making some fucking shit decisions. Bournemouth, if you was to say to our fans how in August last year, how many of the Bournemouth players would you want to sign? They'd have said none. And yet now they're level on points with us and everyone's going, well, they've got a good squad, Bournemouth. But you weren't saying that in August. You're saying it now because they've got a good manager who's getting the best out of those players. He's turned Justin Kluivert into Messi. Justin Kluivert Kluivert, I mean, it looks like his dad. He looks that good. So, honestly, I've got Maresca on my list as well. And I've got him for the ridiculous comments before this game about not qualifying for Champions League. He wants to go, by the way, from... We're not qualifying for the Champions League this year. We're going to qualify for the Champions League next year, and then it's challenge for the title. So you want to go from finishing 5th to winning the league? Yeah, good luck. Let me know how that goes. Yeah. Then his comments after the game, his team selection. I don't think anyone spoke about enough. We hadn't won a game in 6. You play Wolves and you win the game, and what does he do? Changes the team. Why? Why did Colwill come back in? Tosin and Chalobah did a fine job against Wolves. Why bring Colwill back in? It made no sense. You've just managed to put out a team that's won. So why are you changing that team? It's ridiculous. It's pointless. Stop changing the starting 11 every game. Now, I wouldn't mind if it was some sort of tactical tweak, but it wasn't. It was just personnel. We played exactly the same way, but he's like, well, I'll just put Colwill back in. Why? It's not like Colwill's been in blistering form this year. It's not Thiago Silva. It's Levi Colwill. He's okay. Subs again. I mean, the subs, Jesus Christ. I don't even know where to start on the subs. The Nicholas Jackson sub, not because Jackson was having a great game, because he's on my losers list as well, by the way. But to take off Jackson, who is at least giving you a threat in behind and giving Man City something to worry about and stopping their line pushing so high because they are concerned about that ball in behind, to bring on Christopher Nkunku, who occupies exactly the same space as Cole Palmer, actually lost us the game. As much as Robert Sanchez forgetting what a goalkeeper is, that actually cost us the game because it actually handed all the advantage to Man City. They stepped higher up the pitch. They maintained attacks because they could press higher. We couldn't get out. We had no outlet. Every time we knocked the ball forward, it came straight back because there was no threat. Absolutely ridiculous substitution from a manager who we was warned by Leicester fans is
That's
out
true.
of his depth. And he looks... at the moment, he looks like a rowing boat with a hole in it.
You know what's fun? It's a simple yes or no question. I don't even need to give you the option of yes. Did Christopher Nkunku, when he came on, look like he wanted to be there?
No.
Exactly. Yeah, I know you could go, who else is going to be on the bench? That's not the point. We know we're trying to actively sell him. We know he actively doesn't want to be here. He's not going to put the effort in. He's not going to put the effort in. And you could go, well, he's not professional. Yeah, but could you blame him? If in real life, if you're already, you're not going to be at your company for much longer, you're leaving. Why would you put 110% effort in? You have no reason to. You're happy to go.
You know what?
It baffles me.
If you want to take Jackson off, fine. I haven't necessarily got a problem with that. If you're bringing on someone who's going to do something similar to what Jackson does, because then tactically it's not going to change the setup of the team. Why didn't he bring Mark Gu on?
Yeah.
And everyone's going, well, he's only young, Mark Gu, he's not ready. As I said on Friday, if you're good enough, you're old enough. Doesn't matter how old you are. Michael Owen was starting games for Liverpool at 17, scoring goals, scored like 20 goals in the Premier League at 18. If you're good enough, you're old enough. Is he good enough or not? Because if he's not good enough, get rid of him then. If he's not good enough to make a substitute appearance, sell him. No point then. No point you being there. No point paying your wages. Honestly, it's absolutely bizarre. And I wasn't a fan of Maresca in the summer. I gave him benefit of the doubt when he came in, and we was playing some good football, and we was getting results. And I'm talking before the 5-game winning streak, when we was getting results. Some win a couple, draw, lose a couple, win a couple, fine, yeah. But the football was okay. I gave him benefit of the doubt. But honestly, every game now, it just seems that we was right. And people are going to be like, oh, well, you'd rather be right than Chelsea win. No, I wouldn't. I'd rather be proven wrong.
Oh God,
than watching this absolute shower of shite. But the problem is that we're not proven wrong. We're proven right every fucking week by the fact that we are being run by a manager who hasn't got a fucking clue what he's doing.
You know what? Remember when we did the predictions and I said Chelsea was 6th or 7th, I said, and the kickback was like, oh, I bet you when we were third, was I sad that we were third? No, I was glad I was wrong. I couldn't believe my luck. I was thinking, I love to get my predictions smack on. I do. But the fact I was proven wrong about how good I thought we were not going to be, I was proper chuffed. And now I'm like, oh, well, I was right.
And you know what's funny? If we really cared about being right, we'd have stopped doing this podcast a long time ago, because we're wrong more than anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I mean, who's another loser?
Centre backs.
Oh,
I had to couple them together. Both of them got absolutely bullied by Haaland.
Yeah,
couldn't handle him. Got Cole. I mean,
I've got it. Colwill was hanging off Haaland like a cheap suit. I just couldn't believe it. I was like, what are you doing? He's going to turn you. He's going to turn you. And he turned you.
Colwill for the Chalobah, sorry, for the Haaland goal, got bullied in behind. Colwill for the third goal, like you said, hanging off him like a cheap suit.
Oh, it was awful.
But then Chalobah. Oh, Trev. When the ball goes up to Haaland and he's brought the ball down, and Colwill is basically having a piggyback, the last thing you should be doing as his centre-back partner is going over to Haaland and just letting Foden run clean through the middle. It's like, why have you gone towards Haaland? If Chalobah had just made a straight line recovery run, he cuts out that pass from Haaland. Or Haaland probably doesn't even play the pass. He probably plays backwards. And that would have been pretty much the end of the attack. Horrendous decision from Chalobah to go over towards the ball. Horrendous. And like I said, Chalobah and Tosin against Wolves looked like a relatively decent partnership. I know Wolves are nowhere near the standard of Man City. Of course they're not, and that absolute god-awful team. But still, I just think if you've had a partnership that's played pretty well, why change it? Because Chalobah and Colwill just honestly, they look like the Chuckle Brothers.
It wasn't. It was. It was just. Yeah. They were just poor. Chalobah was really good last week, and now he's got the Chelsea-itis. He's been infected by the rest of the performances, and it's like, oh no,
Another week
oh,
under Maresca. That's why.
yeah. Another loser.
I've got Jackson. Thought he did well on the assist, to be fair. Because when you're out of form like he is, I think it would have been very easy there for him to go for the shot. But he is very unselfish like that. He does put the team first. And he saw that he could just roll it across from Madueke, step into an empty net. So that's what he did. And I think that's really important, that you've got a player who has that sort of awareness. He missed that chance when he was offside. I know it was offside, so it wouldn't have counted anyway, but where he sort of took it round the keeper, but then managed to hit him. I don't really know how he managed to do that. But I thought he had some nice touches in the game, but it's another game without a goal. And that's the problem. And he's also a loser for me because when he got subbed off, he looked like a player who is in big trouble. He looks unhappy, which I think is most important. He looks really unhappy. His confidence is gone. You can see that in pretty much everything that he does. Remember when Poch got sacked in the summer and Jackson put out that quite emotional post about it on socials, and then there was rumours, wasn't there, that Jackson was wanting to leave because he didn't want to stay if Poch wasn't there. And then I think, that kind of all blew over and Maresca came in and he was still playing and then he started playing well. I don't think they get on. Because I've noticed it, I think it's twice now in a row where Maresca's brought Jackson off the pitch and they haven't acknowledged each other.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's not a great sign, that. Especially when you've got a striker out of form. I think if you are going to take them off, I think you have to do the Mourinho big sort of hug embrace to the public, even if that's not what you're doing privately. To the public, it has to look like he has your full support. Maresca was only the other day was bringing up how many chances he misses, which doesn't help either. I really feel for Jackson at the minute because he's becoming this year's scapegoat. Last year we had Gallagher, who a large portion of the fans just decided to hate for no reason, and every time we lost, it was Gallagher's fault. Even if he weren't playing, it was somehow his fault. And Jackson's that now. Seen in this game again. We'd have won this game if we had a top quality striker. How would you figure that? Because Jackson got an assist. Palmer fucked up his chance to score. He didn't have any other chances in the game. And I think second half, we had one shot. So I don't know how you're figuring that a top quality striker is going to make any difference there. But he's being the scapegoat now. And I'm concerned that it only ends one way. And that's with him not being here anymore.
Yeah, he'll depart, he'll leave, and probably play well. I mean, like I said, I was a bit unfair because it's his weaker foot is his left, and Palmer just hits that so hard. It's like, why have you hit it that heavy?
Do you know what? I've seen all the still images all over X.
Yeah, that's easy, isn't it? It's a screenshot.
Yeah, screenshot it. Why didn't he just hit it with his left foot? If you look at the weight of pass, even if Jackson had got his left foot on it, there is no way he turns it towards the goal. Just no way. It's overhit at a terrible angle. It's fine. Just because Palmer's top class, it's fine to say he fucked up. It's fine. You're allowed to say that about a player. He fucked up. He probably will never do that again, Palmer. But it's not on Jackson. That one isn't. It's just not.
Yeah. Any other losers you got?
Yeah, one left. Wide players. I mean, Madueke scored a goal and then went and had a cup of tea, I think. For the first goal, You cannot drop 5 yards deeper than your defence and then not track the man you're marking. You played everyone onside and then decided to stand still. Horrendous for Madueke. And going forward, aside from his goal, did absolutely nothing. Didn't create anything. Didn't look dangerous. Every time the bloke has a shot, he clears the stand. I've never seen a player put the ball over the bar as much as Madueke. And then, in fairness to Madueke, at least I saw him. Because we're talking about Palmer ghosting. Let's talk about Jadon Sancho, shall we?
Did he play?
Honestly, he is getting away with murder at the minute, Jadon Sancho. He is doing nothing in football matches. Absolutely nothing. And at the minute, the 25 million that we've got to pay Man United in the summer looks overpriced.
It does,
and that's
actually.
saying something. In today's market, that is saying something. But at the moment, I am seeing nothing from Jadon Sancho. Yeah, a few nice touches on the halfway line. Great. That's not where I want you doing most of your work, to be honest, on the halfway line. You know, he'll beat a player and come into the centre of the pitch and he'll play a nice switch play out to the other side. That's great. And do you know what the opposition are thinking? You can do that all day. That's not hurting us. You coming inside and then playing out the other way. Who gives a fuck? He's not getting goals. His assists, people will go, he's got 6 assists. Yeah, but a lot of them have been, you know, a 5-yard rolled pass to Palmer who's done something with it. It's not top class. It doesn't score enough. All of our wide players. I can't remember, and now this sums it up for me. I can't remember. Did Neto come on?
I awkwardly am now looking because I don't remember him. Maybe was it very late?
But I know he was warming up at one point.
Let me check.
I honestly can't remember whether we came on
Neither
or
can
not.
I. He did set for Jadon Sancho, 73rd minute.
Yeah, okay, so he's played, what, probably 17, 18 minutes with injury time.
Yeah.
And I can't remember whether he came on.
Yeah. He had
that sums it up.
You want to know? He actually he had no shots, 8 accurate passes, and he attempted 4 crosses and he made none of them.
Good. That's why I don't remember him.
Oh my word.
And you know, I think we've had a problem for a long time now. Like this, it's almost like Groundhog Day. I feel like we're in like 2022 again. Where we're talking about the fact that our wingers just do nothing. And we've still got that same problem. We have the least productive wide players out of any of the top clubs. We just do. Our wide players, probably actually, ironically, aside from Man City, I think Man City are the only team whose wide players do less than ours.
Yeah, that's probably actually quite fair. Oh, well, what emojis are we dropping? I wrote down middle finger because I was a little annoyed when I wrote this script. So, I'm sticking with it.
Yeah,
I'm still
that's
annoyed.
fair. I'm going with the stock market crashing emoji.
Oh, that's proper. Our form's awful.
Because our form is going down. Our table position is going down. The stock of our manager and all of our players is going down week by week.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And you know what? I've got a slight
overreaction. You think?
I've got an Oscar overreaction. Quick one. I'm going to say that Chelsea get rid of Axel Disasi and João Felix to Aston Villa, and we get John Duran some kind of PSR deal. I don't know how it's going to happen. It's going to happen before, maybe on or just before deadline day. It just feels the kind of thing they do.
If that happens, Mikey, then we'll win the league because we only need a striker, remember?
Yeah, he might play in goal. You never know. Generational talent. Right. Oh, dear gosh, I've got to do this. Lion of the week. Oh, my word. So Man City, Berth had Reece James, which, okay. Chris, you had Jackson. I had Palmer, so no way am I claiming that. Ollie had Sanchez, and the wheel went with Jackson. I think no one deserves a win there.
No, there's no winners there.
You know what? We did have against Ipswich away. We had the first time this season. We didn't pick a Lion of the Week. I don't think I could pick one. I don't think anyone.
Well, no, I said this in the group chat yesterday during the game that I actually don't think we had a single player on the pitch play well.
No, I even, our best player was probably Kujanov, and he didn't even play
Yeah.
for us. He didn't even play for us, but he
What a
helped
debut.
us. Yeah, what a debut. Yeah, that's pretty much that. You know what? We'll go to Quaresma's questions as I grab my phone. Might be able to answer a fair few because we're not going to do a game because it's just two of us. So I have got. Let me have a look. Oh, it's gone into a photo of food.
At least it was food.
Yeah, that's true. Shkoma said Nkunku was a ghost for 30 minutes. Time to move him on. Agreed. I think we can all agree there.
Yeah.
Quiet Turtle. We can't sack the squad given they are on 100-year contracts. Is it time for Maresca? I don't think they're going to sack him either. Even if I think we're outside the top five.
They won't. We'll end up keeping him, and then we'll sack him next October when it's too late.
Yeah. JRMT1, what keeper should we replace Sanchez with? Hermanson. I'm telling you, Hermanson works well for Leicester. I mean, I know he did all right against Spurs. Hey, Spurs probably going to be relegated though. Hermanson, or who was the other guy I said? I said somebody and I bloody forgot who it was. Pickford. Berth said about Pickford the once, and I thought, yeah, he'd probably be all right. But
Or even better, save us all some money. Just bring Petrovic back.
I agree with that one. I agree with that. No Lawsco, can Jarl explain why Palmer isn't right wing? I don't understand Maresca tactics of Palmer. I think you pretty much described that well.
Yep. You look at Cole Palmer's numbers from last season. They was fantastic. Playing from the right wing, being allowed to drift inside and play in the half space. Maresca came in and went, well, I'll just play him as a number 10 then. And I said in the summer, that's a risk because that's the most condensed area of the pitch and he's easier to mark. And here we are. Cole Palmer's influence on games is getting less and less and less every week. His numbers are still okay, sure, but that's more through his own individual talent, I would say, than the tactical setup. His influence on games, though, is approaching zero now.
Yeah.
Last year he was a joy to watch play, and now he isn't because the only time I see him on the ball in any sort of space is when he's collecting the ball from the centre backs. I don't want him 100 yards from their goal, though. I want him 30 yards from the goal. And I can't believe that Maresca was asked this in a press conference a couple of weeks ago, and he said that it's not impossible. He's not ruling out Palmer playing on right wing at some point, but it's not in my plans right now. Well, put it in your fucking plans then, mate, because it ain't working.
Yeah. Another one from same person, no Lawsco. And I like this one. Should a Lavia replacement be the number one priority instead of a striker keeper? First of all, Jorge Campos, striker goalkeeper. That's what I'm thinking now. But look, we still need I would still prioritize goalkeeper over striker right now. I know that's ironic, but the goalkeeper is good. You can score as many as you want, but if you're still letting them in at the back,
agreed.
At least with a 0-0, you might snatch and grab a win.
Exactly.
It's that goalkeeper we need. Lavia, I've already said I'm over that. I think there's no point because you can't rely on him. That's cruel. It's harsh, but you can't rely on him. So
again, we have Lavia replacements out on loan.
Yeah.
So it makes our transfer policy absolutely laughable, doesn't it? Really, when you consider we've got players out on loan who we could bring back and are better than the players in our current squad. Like, who's making these decisions?
No, I mean that's the thing. I mean, someone had said about it's so easy to go, well, sell Romeo Lavia. Hospitals don't buy players. Yeah, there's no point. He look, no one is going to buy an injury-prone player unless it's Chelsea. That's the thing. No one's going to take the risk. There's a reason, like, Reece James, I love him to pieces. If Real Madrid have the decision at the end of the season, Trent on a free or Reece James, even if Reece James was on a free, they're picking Trent because one of them, I'm not saying that Trent's the better player.
He's not.
When he's fully fit. No. I still would stand by that. I don't think he can defend as well as Reece James. However, what's the one thing Trent's got over Reece? He's always available.
Yeah, he can play.
He's, you look to the bench and you go, oh, Trent's fit. Reece, you never know, and it's such a shame. But that's the thing. It's availability. It's the best ability.
The only thing you're hoping for with someone like Lavia is someone in like Serie A will take a punt on him.
Yeah.
Because it's a less physically demanding league, so he might, and he's got age on his side. But I tell you what, we're not getting the money back that we paid for him.
No way. 100% no way.
Not even close to it, I wouldn't imagine.
No way. Well, we'll see what happens, because come Friday we could have sold Felix and loaned out Disasi. Who knows? Which makes me even more annoyed that we basically pushed bloody Conor Gallagher out for PSR to buy a player we didn't really want anyway, if we're selling him already. But whatever. Listeners, we're at the end of another episode. It wasn't the most positive, but we have to have these hard talks. It's just got to be said, And before we go, go on.
Sorry, but if anyone was tuning in expecting this to be positive,
Yeah,
I don't know why you.
I don't know what you expected there. I can't even say something positive about the NFL because the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl again. I can't do it. But before we go, we're proud to remind you about our partnership with Head in the Game, the mental health charity using football to support wellbeing and the community. Check them out, headinthegame.co.uk. Treat yourself well, listeners. We'll be back on Friday with something. It's probably going to be transfer-y because that seems to be the flavour of the week at the moment, because obviously the window shuts on a week today, I think. So, yeah, till next time, that will be us signing off.
You've been listening to At The Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram by searching for At The Bridge Pod. And if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, leaving us a review is always appreciated.